This illustration kind of deals with all occupancies that fall under the NEC Rule 210.70C as in car. The purpose of change was a revision that has been made to permit lighting and receptacles, control type technology that is currently available and being installed in dwelling units and in commercial buildings today. Numerous manufacturers offer remote control devices of different types that are widely communicated with controllers that control the lighting outlet or receptacle, whichever. A point of control is now required at each entry point to attics, underfloor spaces, utility rooms, and in basements, where these spaces are used for storage or contain equipment requiring servicing. The language change provides the ability to obtain illumination for safety when entering these spaces and ensures that if a point of entry does not provide access to a space, that it will be used for storage or will contain equipment that requires servicing, and it does not require a point of control for lighting if you don't store or put equipment there. So now notice we can have a stairwell here, and 300.23 says this pull-down stairway allows attic and electrical boxes and so forth access. The illustration above that is a scuttle hole, as you see here. And notice within 6 foot, you got to protect those cables. If the cables are over 6 foot, no. If they're within 6 foot, you put guard strips next to them so that you don't use the cable or put your knee on the cable so it's not as hard on your knee to enter into that attic area. And then you have other little call outs here that would help you with this particular rule. First, cable should be at least 6 foot from the scuttle hole. But it doesn't say that here. This is 320.23 that we deal with here, see. So you have to talk to the inspector about that call. They have some local ordinances on these pull-down stairways. Cables routed along the side of the rafters. If they're up above 7 foot, you're fine. If they're below the 7 foot, then you need to put guard strips and protect them. Cables run across rafters with guard strips is fine. Cables routed alongside of the joist is fine. Cables routed across the top of joists with guard strips used for supports is okay. Cables routed less than 1.25 inches through a joist with running boards for protection, either one of those is okay. So we kind of get the feel here of what's required up here if you have access into that attic for storage or equipment or stuff like that, where the cables need to be protected. And I have found that that is up to the authority having jurisdiction in many areas, so it would pay to protect with them. The note 1, a wall switch or remote control device controlling the lighting outlet at each entry to an attic or crawl space and so forth is required per 210.70C to have one of these controlling devices installed. So this kind of outlines what is required, and the only thing I've ever seen with this is the scuttle hole requirement in relationship to the pull-down stairwell. So many inspector says, no, you don't have that 6 foot rule here like you do here. But again, this is a call by the authority having jurisdiction, and if you have storage areas and equipment areas, be sure you look at 210.70C, and I think that kind of puts this revision together so that we can all be on the same page according to the authority having jurisdiction on scuttle holes and pull-down stairwells.